in the storm. A hungry hunger inside of me. I can't be reborn. I'm a monster, spreading hate, stealing time. I'm a monster, laying days when it's cloudy. Oh, pilgrim inside of me. Tell me, what's my remedy? I'm a fraud, call me a liar. A true psychopath, don't love me. When you're lost, take your trust. Yeah, that's me. Like an onion, I'll liberate your tears. Your sweet passion, sweet fears. Oh, you're in good hands. They say I'm gentle, so don't be scared. I'm a monster. Every train has its thrill. My game, my will. Pilgrim, don't let me, okay? No, I wanna be given the blame. Hold up, wait a minute, what you're talking about? Hold up, wait a minute, what you're talking about? Wanna be given the blame. I'm a fraud. 'Cause I'm a true psychopath. When you're lost, take your trust. That's me. That's so sick. I'm a fraud, call me a liar. A true psycho. Woo. I'm a fraud, call me a liar. A true psychopath, don't love me. When you're lost, take your trust. Yeah, that's me. Oh, that's me, that's me, that's me. Yes, I'm a fraud. Call me a liar. A true psychopath. Ooh, psychopath.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you all for being here. I'm so excited. It's been a hot minute since we've had some calls from Letecia, and you know that they're going to be doozies. Before I have the girls up, I just want to do a little quick housekeeping. Okay. So tonight we're going to be playing, I think it's like an hour's worth. I can't even remember, to be honest. And we need to really give extra special thanks to Crime Curious Jen, because this woman worked her tail off today to get these calls ready for us and edit out. There was some stuff that needed to be redacted that wasn't redacted, and she did that for us. And so we big thanks to Crime Curious Jen. If one of the mods would do me a huge favor, I wrote it down and then I didn't look. I need to add her to the Nightbot. I'm sorry, Jen. I know you're backstage and I know you can hear me, and I don't know what's wrong with my brain, but I'm very, very sorry. I need to add her to Nightbot. But if somebody could please, one of the mods, please drop Crime Curious's link, I would be eternally grateful. The other thing I want to talk to you guys about is I have 2 videos going to premiere tomorrow in the morning at some point. I'm just putting the finishing touches on them. I'll be done with them by tonight after the live. Anyway, so there's that. The other thing is, and this is very important, anybody who has been watching the Florida versus Charlie Adelson trial, brace yourselves if you haven't heard. Charlie Adelson is taking the stand. Now, unfortunately, I can't stream it. And tomorrow night, we have the next batch of calls to go through on Allie's channel. That's Thursday. Friday night, Jen, Crime Curious, is going to premiere all of the calls, completely no commentary, nothing, just the whole month of calls back to back. So it's like 47 hours of nothing but Letecia. And so I'm excited for that. We will talk about Charlie Adelson. I don't care how I have to do it. I might have to be like a Saturday morning situation. I don't know what we do. Got to talk about this Charlie Adelson trial, and we will. So be looking out for that. I see you, Allie, looking gorgeous. Anyway, so I'm going to let the girls up, and then we're going to get started now that everybody is here. If you haven't done so, please, please, please give your girl a thumbs up on the stream. It keeps me in the algorithm, helps me get suggested, and it's a free, easy way to support the channel. Okie dokie, artichokes. Hi, girls. How are you?
Hello.
Did I do all the things? Did I say all the, did I get our schedule all laid out correctly?
Yeah, so tonight here, tomorrow, more calls on Allie's. And then after that, I'm doing a bedtime true crime reading of every kite that Letecia filed during her time at the El Paso County Criminal Justice Center, which will surely put you to sleep, but we're going to cover it later too. And then Friday night I'll be doing another premiere of just all the calls back to back, like you said. But I'm really looking forward to those kites because this woman is just ridiculous.
I have to tell you guys, Jen, there was some specific dates of kites that I was looking for. And we happened to be on a phone call, the girls and I, and two Jens and an Allie were on the phone. And Jen read me a couple of them just from the time period that I was specifically asking about. Y'all, this girl, too much, y'all. She doing the most for no reason, really. And I'm excited to bring you guys those videos because the way that I love Allie's tidbits of Tisha, because she is so much. You do have to take. She's like radiation. You know what I mean? Like a little bit is fine for an X-ray, right? We need X-rays, but too much, and you're out here like like Spider-Man getting bit by the radioactive spider. Only I don't know what you would get if Letecia bit you, because you sure wouldn't get the powers or anything. Like I don't know.
Probably just get bad grammar
and a dark passenger and bad hair.
There was one period of time where she grabbed and held on to the word ludicrous. Only, not the way that ludicrous is spelled, the way she was using it in a sentence, but instead she spells it the way, the musical
ludicrous.
Right. Right. And she's trying to be taken seriously, and she's like, "This is ludicrous." I'm like, "Hey, Luda, what's up?"
Luda.
Right.
Paula, welcome to the Kookaloos, and thank you to Elena. Welcome to the Kookaloos, and Nadine Boo. Thank you for gifting memberships. Congratulations to everyone who got them. And are you girls ready? Should we get started? Because this one's a lot, isn't it, Jen? Like an hour or something, right?
Yeah, so the calls without commentary are 1 hour and 13 minutes. And the same goes for tomorrow night's calls. It's right around that same, 1 hour and 13 minutes. That's without commentary. So we should go.
Okay.
Okay, I'm doing the present screen. It's buffering for whatever reason. I'm gonna just give it a minute. Allie, you doing all right over there, babe?
Yeah, I'm all right. Did you mention, because I came in late because my dad called right as
Okay. Did I mention what? It keeps wanting to play, even though I've paused it 37 times. Very rude. I'm sorry. Did I mention what, babe?
your videos that you were working on?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Okay,
I
good.
said that they would be ready for tomorrow morning at some point, but they'll be ready.
Yay. Okay. Cannot wait. All right. That's all.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
this lady is a mess, y'all. And no, we haven't even started yet. The Gemini JC. We're about to start right now. First call. All right. I'm sharing the screen right now. I'm adding it to the stage. Here we go. Let me make this all the way big. Y'all go in and make sure that you subscribe to Allie and Crime Curious. They do fantastic work. I'm privileged to work with them. Just a lucky duck. Are we ready? Let's go. Oh, let me.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna do
Yes,
the
we're ready.
closed
And
captions.
thank
Okay,
you,
here we
Jay.
go. You're welcome, babe. All right, here we go.
Hey, sorry, I know you're probably sleeping, but I just now got to come out. Yeah. Yeah, what are you doing, sleeping?
Yeah. I was like, my body's calling me.
Sorry, I was like, oh my god, because I kept looking all day. I was like, oh, maybe I'll get to go out and call her. Maybe I'll get to go out and call her. I'm like, okay, I'll call her. Like, oh, now I finally get to go out and call her. And I was like, oh my god, it's like 1:30. But anyway, I just thought I'd call you real quick. I know you, I'm gonna go back to bed, but I just at least want to tell you I love you. You okay?
Yeah.
Alright, good night.
Good night.
Hey, girl.
Hello.
How you doing?
Okay, how are you?
I'm good. I ain't heard from you in a few days. What's going on?
Nothing really.
Huh?
Nothing really.
Well, why ain't you called? You ain't been out?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. You been having a good day?
No.
Why not?
What is there to be good about?
Well, I mean, you've been making the best of the bad situation. How about that?
Yeah,
I didn't know. I said, I'll ask you how you have been.
Yeah.
Katie and Flint been to see you, Mom?
I don't know who Katie is.
You didn't have no visitors.
Those people here, they tried to come and get me one day, but I wasn't going with them. So I didn't know who they were. I'm not going with them.
I mean, the guards come to get you and you won't go with the guards.
No, I'm not going with those people. I don't know those people like that. Remember, I know the whole thing was the black shoes in my head.
What now?
I said, remember the whole thing about the black shoes in my head? No,
What black shoes?
I'll just tell you later.
Well, what do you mean about your head? I'm lost.
I just can't go with them anywhere. I'm not going anywhere until the Latori comes back.
Till who?
Till the Latori comes back.
is that?
The council. Or the people in charge. When the Volturi comes back, that's when I'll go.
You'll go where?
With the Volturi.
Oh.
I'll go with the Volturi when the Volturi gets back. I'm not going with anybody else because that's not what I'm supposed to be doing because that's just wrong. But they put me to a new, a new room again. I got a new room again. And, in another place. And now I'm in a new room in another place. But, all my stuff still works. The cards they gave me with, the numbers and stuff, all that still works. So, I guess I'm still at the same place. I just, got another room again.
Well, I want to tell you something. And I want you to listen to me. If you don't start going with them and answering questions, you're going to have to stay there even longer. You need to cooperate with them, baby.
I am not going with these people. I don't care how much anybody tells me to go or not go, I'm not going.
If who?
I don't care what anyone says, whoever shows up here, I'm not going. I don't know these people. There is no point of going them. I don't know these people you're talking about. I was going to see if I saw them on the video, but they never came on the video. They tried to take me somewhere. I'm not going somewhere. I'm just not doing that. And then eventually the Volturi will come. When they come, I'll go with them. But I'm not going with any of these other people. I don't know these people. I haven't seen a person that I know in a very long, long, long time. So, I can't go with people I don't know, and they be having, all these, chains and ropes.
Yeah, but why, right back to your room, you're only going to leave out for just a little while. They're not taking you away from there. You go right back.
No, I'm not going to those people.
Okay, see.
Yeah, no. They're not the people I'm supposed to be going with. I have good instructions, but I'm supposed to only do things that the authority told me to do, and that's what I'm waiting on. I talked to them 2 days ago.
You talked to who?
The authority 2 days ago.
Where'd you talk to them at?
In my room.
So they come in your room?
Yeah. Yep. I thought they were going to come back yesterday, but they maybe got a new place in a new area. It's a smaller area, but it's got new paint and stuff, and you can smell the new paint. So they brought me every year, so I thought they were going to come back yesterday, but I'm pressing the little button trying to get them to come, but I never saw them yesterday, and then I just said I'll just do, random stuff, because, I don't have to eat, or drink, or sleep, I don't have to do that, anymore, so I just sit there and, read something, or, wait on them to come,
Why don't you have to eat anymore?
Because we don't have to eat. It's just, your body is supernatural now. You don't have to have food and all the other stuff, because that's not what your body operates off of. And it operates off of first it operate off blood, but they haven't given us that yet. And then it operate off whatever the authority tells you. So I'm waiting on. Yeah, they told me not to trust these people. They were don't listen to these people here because they're just not going to do anything except try to tell you that you're not gonna, supposed to if it's listening in and like modified behavior, you know, kind of like that with Korean people. That's what they try to do to you here. But the authority said, no, don't listen to them. Just behave and just wait. And just wait. Just wait, and we'll keep giving you instructions. So that's what I'm waiting on. It'll be fine. Because once I get my powers, then I won't have to worry about it, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. But be okay. Like, two girls yesterday, when we moved, two girls went to see, a dental doctor yesterday. And, they were there, maybe 20 minutes or 30 minutes or something. And I asked them, did they see anybody from the Volturi here? And the girl was like, no, but I saw a doctor. And I was like, did she have a black? And she was like, no, I didn't see any doctors are black. So, because they were black. She said their doctor had on pink. So. But they came and got her yesterday, and I was like, oh, maybe she's going to go get her powers, but no, she still wasn't the right person.
Hey, I hate to cut you short. I need you to call me back tomorrow. I got to get online.
Okay.
Call me back tomorrow.
All right, bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
All right. So as you can see, she's still at Camp Volturi, awaiting her instructions. I guess you're still waiting? Have they come to get you yet? I'm just curious. And
Yeah, Letecia's over there waiting for Godot.
yeah, and Aunt Katrina's like, okay, well, I hate to cut you short, but okay, I love you. Bye-bye. I can't do this with you. I don't blame her.
Right. She immediately starts in with this I don't know who Katie is BS. And then she explains how she refused a visit. Now, she's been dodging the are you refusing visits question for a while now.
Yes.
And so
the
now
entire
she's
month.
right. So now she's explaining that, yeah, she refused a visit, but here's why. And then she goes on to say that she's going to refuse every visit. And of course, that's before comparing the county jail to North Korea.
Right. Because that makes as much sense as her comparing herself to Jesus. And was it Paul? Yeah, Paul the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what you do. Bruh.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I learned is that jail doctors wear pink and Volturi doctors wear black. Thanks, Letecia.
I'm so confused by this because I suppose she's got to take, a little bit from whatever and put her own spin on it. But I thought that the intention of the Volturi really, yes, they kind of, from the books, they sort of look down on humans. However, they also recognize the need for humans as they keep them alive. But also they try to sort of blend. The whole deal with the Volturi is not to stand out and I'm embarrassed that I know this much about Twilight, but at the time, my oldest daughter, when these movies and these books came out, she was way into them. And, I had to check it out because I got very excited because I'll watch anything with a vampire until the vampire stepped into the sun and didn't immediately explode into goo. Then I was like, oh, yeah, okay. But anyway, so I know a little bit about this, and none of the things that Letecia is saying makes a lick of sense. And I think Aunt Katrina is done with her. Oh, Crime Curious done kicked herself off. Well, let me add her back.
Yeah, I was hacked.
Those dadgum Volturi hackers. Were they wearing black or were they wearing pink?
They were definitely wearing black and drinking Ensure.
Oh, were they? All right. So, Allie, you got anything? But there's Allie. Okay, good. Okay, I wanted to ask her
Yeah.
to drop that link for the fundraiser for her cousin because for her,
Thank you, Jen, so much. And
you're
so I was
welcome.
looking, that's why I was silent because I was muted. I was listening, but I was on another screen trying to get like a direct link to her profile on PayPal. But I don't know how to do that. Like I can only find mine. So I just put her email in the chat because I just sent it to her. Everything that was sent to me, I sent to her on PayPal to that address. And then
Okay.
there's a Cash App too, but I honestly couldn't find the Cash App. She swears it's correct because I double checked with her after. But I just didn't feel comfortable like giving the Cash App just because when I search for the contact, it doesn't pop up, and I don't want somebody to get the wrong one.
Yeah. No, I get it. No, that we want to make sure she gets it too. There's not a GoFundMe, babe, just a straight
No,
PayPal.
yeah, because it's like a Little Miss Patriot, so it's a contest within her cheerleading squad, and her mom was doing it, and now
Okay.
her aunt, which is my cousin's brother, his wife is in charge of it now, and she's taking up the funds, and then they turn it into the school, and then whoever does the best is the winner, basically.
Okay. Let me where is it on Facebook?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do, you guys. After the live is over, I will go back and in the comments section, I will find this fundraiser and a direct, Allie and I will work together and I will post it and I will pin the comment if you guys want to donate because we want this little girl to win.
Yes.
Dadgummit.
Thank you, Jen. That is so sweet. And I bet you I
Absolutely.
could link the post, huh? The Facebook post, maybe.
You could probably, I mean, you're a mod, so you can link whatever you want. But
I'll just try it after, like you said.
yeah,
But I bet
we're
can
gonna do it after, and then I'll pin the comment. That way we can give the info. I'll write something, explaining what it is for people and all the things. You know what I mean?
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay.
That is awesome. And thank you guys. Thank you, Emily. Thank all of you guys. I appreciate you all. I
Oh,
really
you're
do.
welcome, sweetheart. You're welcome. This is what we do. We're a fam over here. Nobody in the
Yes,
ward
we are.
suffers alone. We do not do that.
Yes,
No, the
thank you.
Volturi is it is from Twilight. No, she didn't make it up. See, this is my problem with Letecia Stauch. One of many, okay? She isn't even original. She can't even have a pretend dissociative identity disorder correctly. She has to take from other people who are much more creative and all of the things, and it just drives me freaking nuts about it that she acts like that. But anyway, there's really, you can tell that just to remind everybody where we're at with Letecia. Now she remember she had that whole incident where she woke up and covered in blood, didn't know where she was bleeding from, and has no idea who Katie is, doesn't know anything about anything except for the Volturi. That line of thinking makes sense to her, right? You don't know why you're there, but somehow the vampires came into your cell, which you don't want to acknowledge as a cell, you call it your room, whatever, and you are completely listening to everything that they say. You're trusting them fully. So much so that now you're refusing to see your lawyer because you don't know those people. She out here like, new phone, who dis? Whatever, Letecia. Anything else, girls, or should we go on to the next one? Going once?
I think we can go on.
Okay, doke.
Okay.
Here we go.
Sorry, I was telling Bentley good night. All right. I'm listening.
All right.
Let's go.
Night,
Okay.
Hello?
Hey.
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 Hi.
Nothing.
What do you want to? Just nothing?
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you eat today?
I had a salad and pizza.
Pizza?
Mhm.
I figured you were being like a hibachi or something.
You know what?
Hibachi or something.
Oh, I wish.
You know, that's how you got your little Chinese eyes, because you always had
Whatever.
Yeah, so then it just started happening. Your eyes started being a little bit Asian. Did you work today?
No.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Going to church tomorrow?
Yeah.
Lady ain't good?
Yeah, she's good.
Chance still being a butthole?
Yeah. I'm so mad at him. Mom, guess what I did?
What?
Me and Brooke, which was the girl I do the leadership with at the church, we took all the girls to a pumpkin patch, and then we painted pumpkins, and then we made them lunch and watched movies, and then we're having...
Does the church give you money to help them do that, or they just pay their own stuff?
Yeah, they pay for their own. But I mean, if they don't have any, like, if they don't have money to pay for it, then I usually pay for them.
Yeah.
And then this week we're throwing them a Halloween party. And then,
But you're not supposed
we're
to celebrate
doing,
Halloween.
well,
Harvest party?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the week after, we're doing, like, a lock-in with them at the church.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
And,
Which middle school do they go to? Blackwater?
some go to Conway, some go to Whitmore, some go to Gainer.
Oh, okay.
It's like all over. And I have to tutor one of them in math.
Oh, God. Well, it'd be freshen up your skills.
I know, right?
For reals. So I named my book.
What did you name it?
Apparently I named it Figurines.
What do you mean?
You'll understand when you read it.
I don't.
I'd like to be one of the first people to read it, besides my publisher. Or my editor, I should say.
Who is that gonna be?
I mean, not anytime soon, but you know.
Wait, like you finished it, or you just finished the name or made up the name?
I think it's like 80-some pages, but I just now went back and read them all over the last couple of days. I mean, I don't know what 80-some pages on a notebook paper means. That could probably be like 150 pages total, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because those pages are like small in a book. But yeah. But that is my, apparently this is my, separate book from my biblical book.
Charlotte's mom came up with the whole idea for me to write a book. And she gave me every single topic I should do and exactly what I should write on.
Oh, okay. But you can't write.
Oh, sorry. But I can't write, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know about that one. I don't know if she was really thinking about that part. About the non-writing. It's okay. Your mom can write really good, so. So just put your name on it and I'll write it.
Yeah.
These people be having me write all kinds of stuff. Like this one girl was like, "Could you write this for me? I need to mail this off, and I need it to sound really good."
That's all.
I'm like, okay, cool.
Like letters?
So like, I don't know why, but these people be wanting to write like judges and like justices and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I don't know why you want to write them, but okay. And so I was like, tell me what you want to say. They tell me like all about crazy stuff, and I'm like, are you sure you want me to write this? Okay. So there's probably going to be like this mass amount of mail will go out to these people, and they're going to be like, wow, this person surely got smart.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Was this a free call?
No, it was out of my money, but I only had like 50 cents on there, so
Oh, okay.
yeah,
That's fine. I got some on mine. I just know that whenever the free calls start, I think it might start in a few days, but anyway. Well, I just want to tell you a little bit before it hangs up, and I'll call you back tomorrow on the account tomorrow.
Okay.
But you mailed those books, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Love you so much. Tell everyone
Love you
hello.
too.
Love them. See you soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Love you.
Bye.
Well, way to be an encouraging mom, Letecia, because, writing is something that can be taught, ma'am. So if she were to, take a creative writing class, she can learn. It is what it is. I mean, there is some innate quality that you have to be creative. And I don't know if Harley is creative or not, but for Pete's sake, I mean, I would at least encourage. It's not like,
Yeah, no doubt.
well, she's getting up, she's on the phone call saying, I'm going to try out for, American Idol. And your child couldn't carry a tune if it had a handle. Like those are the times when you got to be honest with your child, right? I'm all for honesty. I'm pro honesty. I'm anti lies. But Letecia, did you forget that you didn't write or turn in or whatever your dissertation? So are you a good writer? Also, I think one of the prerequisites, and Crime Curious, please chime in as our resident author, being a good writer would be a firm grasp on grammar. Like, for example, that's okay. Your mom can write good. It's well, your mom can write well. I mean, little things like why come?
That was my first thought. Well, it's okay. Your mom can write good. I'm like, no. It's well. Your mom can write well.
Right.
But it's not true. So let's, as the resident author, I don't mean to, poo-poo on anyone's work, and I surely make mistakes. I do it all the time. It's how I learn. It's my job as a mother to make sure that my kids are more intelligent than I am or was, right?
Correct.
Now, that's apparently not Letecia's job. It's Letecia's job to keep Harley down where she belongs, with her, being the better, prettier, smarter person, which obviously isn't working out very well for her. I mean, did you notice the jab about Harley having Asian eyes?
Yes, she
Yeah.
doesn't. Harley is a beautiful girl. Stop it, Letecia. She's a beautiful young woman. Stop it. Why you
Right.
got to keep
as
your
if
own kids subjugated? I'll never understand that.
right, as if Asian eyes are a bad thing anyway, but it was
Right.
meant as a jab.
Right.
And
Yeah,
and then she's like,
Exactly.
well, what did you eat? How's work? How's church? How's the dogs? And she just can't wait for Harley to stop talking about those bullshit things that Letecia asked her about, so that she could get into talking about herself, which is why she really called.
Right.
And so let's talk about this title to her book, which we're going to get into with the later
Before you
calls.
do that, let me say this. I need to clarify. Thank you for saying what you said. I'm outraged in saying that Harley is a beautiful girl because Letecia meant what she said about her having Asian eyes as a dig. And I will tell you guys a little story just really quickly. My sister used to say the same thing to me. She used to tell me when I was a kid that she found some toy and it had a sticker on the bottom of it that said made in Taiwan. And she said, "That's where you're from, Jen. You're made in Taiwan." She used to tell me that all of the time. So that's what
It's
she did.
funny.
She made it, but she was 5, okay? 5, not 30, whatever, how old Letecia is over here with an 87-year-old dark passenger inside of her. Anyway,
Yeah.
Harley is beautiful, and the fact that Letecia says things like that to her, first of all, it's offensive to Asians. I think Asians are beautiful. And secondly, it's a dig at her daughter. And she's just disgusting. She's just gross. Okay, now Jen, what were you going to say? Because you know how things get twisted on these YouTube streets. I like to be very clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. But also, you know what? Letecia knows that Harley is 10 times more beautiful than she ever was. And Harley also has more of a sweet personality and more submissive and nothing like Letecia. And she hates that. So you're right. The way that you said that, Curious Jen, was just so perfectly, it was perfectly said. She's, trying to keep her down there where she belongs. And that's exactly what she's doing. But it's really sad because you have to wonder, what has this done to Harley her whole life? She's been doing this to her whole life. No wonder she's so mild mannered and meek and subdued and submissive like that, because look at her mother and how she talks to her and treats her.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
It's gross.
Jen, is it easy? So I sent you a picture in our group chat. Is it easy to pull that up on the screen or no?
I mean, it's not hard. It just takes a minute. But yeah, I can. Is that what you want me to do? Would you like for me to do
because
that?
it adds a bonus layer to the topic of her damn book.
Well, your wish is my command, ma'am. I'll be right there. Let me do it real quick. Let me just download it really quick. But y'all keep talking because it's going to take a minute, because I've now opened a third window on the old laptop here, and it's like a struggle.
Yeah, so this is actually just a picture. It's not the whole letter, and it's not even the whole page of the letter. But it's just a picture of, where she's telling this person that she's writing to, which, by the way, is, one of the many random strangers that she wrote from jail. Also sent around this time. Actually, let me look at the date on the letter. Oh, oddly enough, there's no date. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This letter was written in October 2020. But when she signs it Janelle Carmen Stauch. And then she writes December 2019, aka October 2020. So this letter is the reason why I knew to ask for the October 2020 jail calls first. Because, so anyway, but she tells the same story to each person, just crafting it along the way, whether that's
Right.
family, whether that's random YouTubers, no matter who it is, she's really working on this narrative, with her selective amnesia and the head injuries and all of that. So now she's trying to craft in, Edgar into the story and how she was delivering suitcases to Florida. But the only reason I sent you that snapshot is so that you could look at how she spells the title of her book. The book is going to be called Figurines.
Just wait, you guys. Just wait. It's trying to do. Did anybody else's audio just do that weird thing? Did y'all hear that too, or just me?
So.
Okay, just me.
Mine did, like a crack, like a pop.
Yes. Yeah. Well, mine went.
Yes.
I thought we were about to get a freaking some kind of alert.
Oh man, I think it's the Volturi. But yeah, my whole point behind it is, she can't even spell the title of her book correctly. But yeah, Letecia, you can write good.
Yeah, you can write good. I don't know why all these people want her. I don't know why all these people want me to write for them. Nobody wants you to write for them. Stop
Right,
it.
and she's talking like she's the only literate person in jail. Because
Right,
once again, she's
exactly.
above everyone else. She's better than everyone else. She's smarter than everyone else. Like, you know,
I want them to sound important. That's another pet peeve of mine. We'll stay for another
well,
day.
you don't have to show it. I mean,
No. I'm getting it. It's coming now. Just give me just a second. Don't stop the process now, Jen. Absolute. No, I'm committed now. We finna see this. We are going to see this. Just give me a second.
So she's got one book that she's going to write about her religious experience, right? And and she's gonna bring people to Christ. And then she has a second book that she's gonna write that she's got 80 handwritten pages of done already. And she's not sure how it works, but that might be 150 pages because them pages in them books is little. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. 80 handwritten pages. Oh,
It's going to be like between 20 and 30 typed pages.
right.
And that's if
You haven't
they
written a
keep
book.
everything in everything. They keep every single solitary word, which never
Right.
happens. You can't.
Right.
So I don't know if you guys can see this, and I'm not going to, because I didn't want to upload it to a drive, which would have been better, but I will do something with this later. But if you can see right here,
Yeah, and I just took a
figurines
picture of
is
it in the
spelled
notebook.
Figureens. Spelled that way, I guess, for the book purpose. I'll tell you what, she has nice penmanship. I'm not going to take that away from her. She has
Right.
quite nice penmanship, but she
So-
she does have a spelling issue. Mhm.
So it seems like she knows that it's spelled incorrectly, with her bracketed, spelled that way, I guess, for the book purpose.
Which I don't get.
So, right. And I was hoping maybe you had some insight, but yeah, the title of her book is going to be spelled incorrectly.
I mean, I guess I could Google out and see if that's a reference to something, but usually that is my one forte is references. I can usually reference a movie, a TV show, In fact, the other day we were on a phone call, the three of us, and I was extolling to the girls how many life lessons are really in the movie Friday. For example, Big Worm. You playing with my money, playing with my emotions. Those kinds of things. Those are life lessons people should pay attention to. Never discount those kind of movies. They have value. But anyway, and I don't know what GameStopping is either. I think she meant going to GameStop, and I
She
guess
was
the
looking
act
for
of
GameStop
GameStopping.
footage.
Do what, babe?
She was looking for GameStop footage and the cruise passenger list because she wanted to implicate Edgar, who was on the cruise. Now, I'm not sure still what this GameStop footage was about, but she apparently set up some part of her lie that was somehow in her mind corroborated by this GameStop footage that nobody ever bothered to get.
I feel like you guys, I know when we were looking through the case file, okay, they looked for all kinds of footage, requested all kinds of footage from all kinds of places to trace Letecia's route and to see where she was at what time, all the things, right? I feel like because they even found the Dollar Tree footage of Harley and Lena. So I feel like they went, but there was no proof that Letecia was there. And without any proof, I don't know how, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure they requested it, or maybe they showed her picture. I don't know. I highly doubt. I feel like they would not leave that stone unturned because they didn't leave Eduardo. No matter how ridiculous that story sounded, they still looked into it. They still had to investigate it, and they did. So I feel like if there was any validity to the quote unquote game stopping, which I guess is the act, it's a verb. It's the act of going to game stopping. is, I think they probably did look into it, and it's BS, much like everything. I
Right.
do too, Crystal D. Every single time that 2 Live Crew song. Oh God. All right. Are we ready for the next call, ladies?
I saw a comment that from Amanda that said, "Do you know, or will you cover this letter about what the suitcases to Florida mean?" And yes, and in fact, she's going to cryptically refer to it again in later calls. So I figure we just get into it then.
We will.
Yeah.
Okay, dokie. We ready? I did not listen to this, I have to confess. Allie, you got anything, babe, that you wanted to add?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you hear me right before that,
No, ma'am.
though? Okay. Sorry. Well, I didn't know that. I've been talking with you guys. Like, I've been on the other screen working on my thumbnail, and I didn't know, but because I was unmuted, but you can't hear me, but I can hear you. But no, go ahead. I'm ready.
Are you
Sorry. Yeah. I just been sitting here laughing. I said, "This now you guys got insight into our phone calls after you're like
So I
the Friday
do want to.
we're talking about the life lessons on Friday."
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, okay, no, I'm good. Go ahead. Just curious, Jen.
So I do want to add before we play the next one. So that last call was to Harley on October 24th at 8:48 p.m. And this next call is to Katrina on October 24th at 8:56 p.m. So these are back-to-back phone calls. And we saw how she just talked to Harley. You know, she dug on her with the Asian eyes, food, work, church, dogs, figurines, writing a book. Okay, love you, bye. Now, she hangs up the phone with Harley, and then she makes this call to Aunt Katrina immediately.
Okay. Also, let me just point out that clearly Letecia's not getting treated too terribly bad because she's able to make these back-to-back calls. I mean, I know this is part of her hour out or whatever, but still, if they were really messing with her in the way that she says that they are, this would not be happening. All right, here we go.
Hey,
Hi.
how are you?
Okay, I guess. Sorry if it's late. Just now got to come out.
No, you just not getting to come out. Why so late?
I don't ever understand this stuff. I really don't. If I try to understand it, I'll just hurt my brain more and more trying to figure it out. It's one of those things. I've been reading all my stuff I had. Apparently, I wrote a book. I went through and read the whole thing. Yeah, it was okay. I don't remember I did, but it's in my handwriting. So I read a book. And I went through and I read all this stuff, which was so confusing about this whole date thing and the year and all that. But anyway, I read it all the way back from March. And oh my God, if you read it, you'd be like, what in the heck? I don't even understand half of it. I don't remember any of it. So I'm just trying to piece together what the heck any of it means. I made it up until I think I made it up until May. It said May. Some craziness. Something about some people, and I had told people I was in the Seminole tribe. Oh God, that got me in trouble, man. Just got me in trouble. People wanted me to think I could get on the reservation because they don't have to pay money to the government for gambling money. You know.
Right.
I know, and they, the whole crazy thing is there's these people, right, who wanted us to deliver. Every time we went on vacation to Florida, wanted us to deliver suitcases to Florida with these figurines in them. And I would always be like, no, I'm not doing that, because I broke one of the figurines one time. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
What kind of figurine?
So there's these like, okay, so like apparently, I don't remember this part, but in one of the journal things, it says that that there was Christmas figurines, and okay, so it says I went to Florida on December 26th, and it says that I told people no, I wasn't taking these figurines to Florida, and like inside the figurines, I guess was like money or something, I don't know, and I just know what it says now. I'm going to what it was written on the journal, and it says that once I found out that one of the figurines had broken and there was like money, like I was like, no, I'm not doing that. So I guess once I get to Florida, I go to some house and it's on Biscayne Bay, and I'm like, no, I got to go back to my hotel, because my hotel was at like a training facility, it said, and it was like I had to get back to a hotel. And then I didn't ever get back to the hotel in time until like 3 a.m. it said. And then it was like, well, I got scared apparently because I thought they were going to come find me, because they were telling me I had to take these suitcases back to Colorado. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. So apparently I get scared and get back on a plane the next morning. It says I got back on a plane into Denver, and that Albert picked me up in Denver, and he was like, why didn't you stay in Florida? And I was like, because I wouldn't bring the suitcases back, because they're out to get me. And I was trying to figure it all out, and I'm like, who was out to get me and what was going on with this, because the whole Seminole tribe and the money. I'm just like, so then I like keep reading more and more and like trying to figure it out, and I'm like, I think about it like, oh, what I do remember is like June, I don't know if it was last year or this year, because I don't know what date it is really, because it's all a conspiracy. But anyway, so June I went on a cruise, right, and I went to Dominican, right. Well, guess where I left out of?
Where?
Florida, right? Florida. So I know this is true because I like remember this part. I remember going to Dominican. I don't remember any of this other stuff, but I remember going to Dominican in June because Harley had graduation, like from school, you know, and so it was all of us went. The only person didn't go was Lena, because she went home with her mama, and so we go to Dominican, and we like leave out of Florida or whatever, and I remember someone was saying something to me then about this whole it's supposed to be like porcelain things or like lamps and stuff like that that they wanted us to take in our suitcase, and we were like, no, we're not taking that stuff in our suitcase to Florida. So I like remembered that, but then when they talked about it Christmas ornaments, I don't remember any of that stuff, but apparently I wrote about it in April. It says April. So I know it's my handwriting, so that's why it's all confusing. Like, I don't even remember April, but whatever. So I guess I've just been trying to like put all this together and figure out what the heck it's talking about, because I even asked the people in the laboratory, and they were just like, well, okay, so there's a new member, so they came and told me about the new member, and so I was like talking to them about that. And so like I've been trying to figure out like, do they know about this, or you know, and then I found out that someone I know from Colorado knows about it, and I knew about the whole thing, and I'm trying to put it all together, because I told him I was from the Seminole tribe, because people never understood, you know, who the Lumpy were, you know, and so I got tired of explaining to people what better recognize means and not means, you know. So I'd always be like Seminole, Cherokee. I'd just say something people knew, you know. And apparently, they thought that I could like somehow get on the Seminole sumo tribe, and I guess if I got on the reservation, then you could like, hide money or something like that. And apparently, I told these people no. But anyway, so like I just read upon all this stuff in Eastern, and I was trying to figure it all out, what I'm missing and not missing, what's a conspiracy, what's not a conspiracy. I don't know. But then I asked the lady, right? I said, hey, who are these people that my aunt keeps telling me about that are supposed to come? And so she was like, oh, I've seen them before on TV. And I said, well, why did you see them on TV? And so she was just looking at me like, I said, well, okay, what did they look like? And then she told me, I said, are they Caucasians? And she said, yeah. I said, any African Americans? She's like, no. And so she kept talking. I was like, so there's no minorities involved? And she was like, no. And I was like, okay, well then I'm not talking to these people. There's no minorities involved because this land is cursed. Because you know how like with agreements for the 4 states here, like, because apparently I'm here, right? I'm at this Colorado place, right? And like Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, Utah they've been cursed by the Indians in their land. So I think that that's what they did here to me. Is they tried to put some curse on me. And like, I don't know if the Vittori can like break the curse or not, but this land is cursed. Like, look it up. It's like in a treaty or something. I remember, something that they had in like an agreement or whatever. But I know that they had cursed the land here because the people tried to take it. And I said, I'm not talking to anybody that's not any minorities because that doesn't make any sense because they cursed the land. Yeah, and then check this out. So this girl, she comes back in here today, and she was like, hey, I was just talking about you. And I was like, why? She was like, I went out to talk to one of my doctors, and my doctor asked me about you. And I said, what doctor? I don't know any doctors. And she was like, yeah, my doctor's name is Dr. Torres. And I go, okay, I don't know a Dr. Torres. She's like, yeah, she said she worked with you at the hospital in Pueblo. And I was like, I haven't been to any hospital in Pueblo. She's like, yeah, she said she was your doctor at the hospital, and she was asking me like questions about you. And I was like, why would the doctor be asking you questions about me? I said, I don't even know any doctor in Pueblo. Yeah, all of it is strange. So she was just asking like, does she know me? What do I do every day? And like, how close is she? Like, is she like near me or whatever? And I was just like, does she know me? She was like, of course. And I was like, well, how would she know me? She was like, what do you mean? And then she calls me by my first name, and I'm like, okay, but that's not my name anymore. Like, my name's Janelle. So does she know like me as Janelle? And she was just like, no. She was trying to explain it to me, and I was like, I don't know any doctor in Pueblo. She was like, well, she just came and gave me an evaluation, and she was talking to me, asking me all kinds of questions about you. And I was like, and I was just too stuck on like, why does this lady know me, and why is she asking you about me? Like, I don't even know you like that, you know?
So what's the girl's name? The new girl?
Do what?
Who's the new girl? What's her name?
That did what? That came in here to ask about that? Michelle. Or are you talking about a new girl from the Vittori?
The new girl that the doctor was asking about you.
Her name is Michelle, but she's not in the Vittori. The new girl in the Vittori is Jamie. Yeah, it was kind of weird. And so, like, I was like, well, I only made it to, I think, like, May, but I didn't see anybody with that name. So, I still have a lot. There's, like, I bet you, like, 75 pages of, like, journal writings. And, like, one of them say, like, if I die, please make sure you go to some envelope that's got somebody's name on it. I don't even know this lady's name. So I'm still searching for this envelope. And so it says that there's papers hid in there to make sure to give to everybody if I am not alive anymore. So I'm looking for that envelope, but I got a bunch of stuff that I'm looking through. So I'm trying to find that envelope because it says in there it's vital information. If you're reading this, the journal says if I'm reading that, it's probably because I'm not here anymore, but I want my family to know about something about the Seminole thing again. And I'm trying to figure
About what?
out the Seminole tribe and the money and the people trying to get me in Colorado. And I was like, I know this guy, right? His E. I know him. And so, like, I'm like, I wonder if he was there at this place December 26th. That it's my handwriting, so I mean, I guess you could look up plane records to see if I like really went to this place. But it says I did. December 26th. It says I went from Colorado Springs to Fort Lauderdale, I think, for Miami, one of them, and then the opposite.
You have 1 minute remaining.
But anyway, so the opposite one, it said I came back to Denver the next day. And so, if I went to Florida and came back the next day, something bad, you know what I'm saying? Like, that just wouldn't be normal, you know? And then it was talking about wanting us to tape these suitcases again, and it says January. And I'm like, January? It says I went on another cruise, and I'm supposed to be taking some kind of suitcases again, but I wouldn't take them. And I don't even understand any of this stuff. So I've been, like I said, I only made it till May trying to figure it out. But anyway, I just thought I'd tell you that maybe something will click, but nothing has clicked yet other than what I told you I knew about the Dominican, you know what I mean?
Right.
But anyway, all right. I just thought I'd give you an update, and we got a new person, Jamie. She's in the military, so I'm gonna because always.
Thank you for using Global Telink.
That's a lot to unpack.
Wow. Okay. Before we unpack that, I did a little Googling while I was listening. Okay. Now, the only thing that I came up with when I spelled figurines incorrectly was Google tried to correct me. I wrote what I wrote, Google. Okay. But it's only like advertisements for people who also spell figurines incorrectly. Okay. But it had me thinking because she started talking about Florida and the money. Now, there was a show back in 2004 called Lost. Okay. And we all remember that show. And remember Mr. Echo and the plane that crashed on
I
the other.
I never watched it.
Okay. So
I remember the
Mr.
show, but I didn't watch it.
Right. So there was a character, Mr. Echo, and he crashed on the island dressed as like he was dressed as a priest. Okay. But bottom line is what he really was a smuggler. And what they were doing was they were smuggling heroin in, guess what? Little figurines. So is it possible that she pulled some kind of something from that show? Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, it seems like the bulk of her education came from television. So
Hey.
yeah, no, mine too. Hey, I don't even have a doctorate.
I have my good enough diploma, but I got a PhD in TV.
Right. So what I got out of that is that, okay, so Letecia is Lumbee, but she doesn't tell people she's Lumbee because it's not a recognized tribe, and it's just easier rather than explain how it's not recognized. It's just easier to tell people that she's either Cherokee or Seminole. And so she told Edgar that she was of Seminole heritage, and then he was forcing her to take these suitcases full of figurines that were full of money to the Seminole Reservation in Florida, and it was gambling money. And so Letecia has these suitcases full of figurines that are full of gambling money that she is supposed to launder on the Seminole Reservation.
But she's not.
But she refused.
Oh, I see. And so there we go. Yes,
Yeah,
it was
she
the Virgin Mary
refused.
figurines, Kathy. Yes, that's it.
And so now they're out to get her because she refused to launder their money. So this is, a version not unlike Cash Belly, Pregnant Lady.
Just a little more involved.
Right. Well, at least this one does involve suitcases in Florida. I mean, we're getting closer to the truth.
Right, exactly.
And so she, so when she goes to Florida, she stays at a hotel, but she's supposed to go to this house on Biscayne Bay, and something really bad must have happened. Now remember, Letecia doesn't remember anything. It was November, but now she remembers some of December, but she definitely doesn't remember December 26th. Okay, well, I do. December 26th is when she went to Orlando. So Gannon and Lena, well, okay, let me back up.
Okay, back
Albert and Letecia and Harley and Gannon and Lena celebrated Christmas early in December of 2019. And then Gannon and Lena went to Landon's for Christmas.
Yes.
The day after Christmas, December 26th, Letecia gets on a plane and goes to Orlando. Now, one version of the story is that she received an offer from Spirit Airlines and she was going to Orlando for flight attendant training. Okay. But she didn't stay. She turned around and she came back home. Now, the reason why she gave up until October of 2020, when she changed the story drastically, the story that she told people prior to that is that she had to turn around and come back home because she didn't want Harley to be home by herself with a job and responsible for the dogs because Albert wasn't going to be there. And remember, she tried to get Nicole Mobley's niece to come stay with Harley while she was at her flight attendant training. Okay,
Right.
This is the same trip to Orlando. Another point that brings it back to that is the emails that Letecia was sending to Albert on January 25th, the Saturday that he left
Yes.
and spent the night at the airport.
Yes.
In those emails, she was berating him because she had to come back early because he's too busy, playing soccer and doing stuff on base and having a life when she doesn't have a life. And even when she tries to, she has to come back early. So that was the original story, but you see, that doesn't serve her current needs. So, fast forward to October of 2020, where it wasn't flight attendant training. It was
drug muling training.
Right. Well, I mean, she wasn't a drug mule. I mean,
money laundering training.
Yeah.
My bad. Money laundering. Right. Sorry, I was still on Lost.
Right.
I'm ready. I'm ready now. I'm
right.
I'm all caught up.
Right. So now it's not, Nicole Mobley's version or Albert's emails or Harley being home by herself or Spirit and the fake flight attendant training. Now she was, she went to Florida because she was supposed to take a suitcase full of figurines that were full of money so that she could launder that money on the Seminole tribe for a gangster.
Bruh.
Make sense?
Yes, total.
Okay, check this out. I should have started it with, okay, check this out.
Okay, check this out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and I love how Aunt Katrina ignored all of that bullshit, except the part where Letecia just slides it in that, this girl, Michelle, in jail. By the way, she uses that name Michelle a lot. Remember, she was staying with Michelle during the pretext phone calls? No, you weren't.
Yes. Right.
I don't.
No, you weren't. No.
She uses Michelle a lot when she's lying. So anyway, Michelle just came back from Pueblo and was talking about how Dr. Torres, was asking about Letecia to this other person. That's the only part that Katrina paid attention to, because bless her heart, she's like, oh, the doctor's doing something wrong. Let's focus on that. You crazy. Stop talking to me about the books and figurines and
The
Seminole.
Volturi.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So Katrina tried to focus in on that because, bless her heart, she's still trying to help Letecia.
Yep. It's sad. It really is. As ridiculous as Letecia is, she has a lot of victims. You know what I mean? Truly.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then the only other part that I really had notes on was now she's not meeting with her defense team because there are no minorities involved. And the land is cursed, and they took the land, and she won't work with anybody who doesn't have a minority on the team.
I noticed that too. I was like, okay, Letecia. Of course, you're always
That's
focusing
okay.
on that.
Yeah, that's all right, because Letecia, we have the jail files, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, that's right. Jacqueline says she was a Michelle in her Facebook group as a private investigator. Yeah, only that time it was the middle name. So the fake private investigator that was actually Letecia was Victoria Michelle. I think Letecia owes an apology to everybody named Michelle everywhere.
I think Letecia owes an apology to everybody everywhere for everything. I mean, she has offended just in these calls. I mean, I'm not forgetting the person that she hurt the worst, which is Gannon, of course, obviously.
Right.
Okay. He is number one. However, Letecia, kind of like an oil spill, has a ripple effect. The water gets bad. She just wrecks ecosystems. She's like the aliens from Independence Day, where they come, they invade, they wipe out all the resources on the planet, and they move on. That's Letecia. That's how you do a movie reference, Letecia, for future reference. You have to tie the reference into a subject that you're actually talking about. You don't just be making stuff up. When she asks you how you're doing, and then you suddenly start talking about the dadgum Volturi. That is not how you make a movie reference, weirdo. So annoying. Allie has unmuted. I assume she has something to say.
I don't really have anything important to say, but I think it might have been Music City Mom. Somebody had mentioned earlier, like maybe it wasn't her. I don't know. I hate if I get it wrong, but that her and Harley probably were very into Twilight, and I would assume that at least it probably worked. Everybody was at one point in time. A lot of people, anyways. Especially the younger people. Even I was, and I was in college, like after it. But I remember I had a poster on my wall of Twilight in my dorm at one point. So of Edward, not Twilight, but just him.
Thank you.
But yeah.
So let's make that very clear, because if I had to pick, I would have to be between Edward and Jacob. I'm sorry, Taylor Lautner, and I know this is going to come as a shock and probably hurt a little. It's going to sting. Just brace yourselves. But I was Team Edward. Sorry.
I know this is going to come as a shock and probably sting a little. But me too. Yes,
my daughter was Team Jacob, and we went to see Eclipse. I had a Team Edward shirt, and she had a Team Jacob shirt. We were adorable.
My God. How cute. That is adorable. See? Everybody was into it. Music City Mom, Team Jacob.
I remember a ton of Justin Bieber songs just because of my older daughter, and One Direction because of that.
One Direction.
Yeah, and I like that Harry Styles has branched out and is doing his own thing, because I like his stuff. I'm not going to lie. That's neither here nor there. That has nothing to do with anything that we're currently talking about.
Okay, let's get back to it. I'm sorry.
I was never Team Edward or Team Jacob, but I was definitely Team Stephanie Meyer, who came up with the idea for Twilight after having a dream and then sold 160 million copies. So
Yes.
Team
Yeah.
Stephanie Meyer.
And she also has excellent taste in music. She likes Muse. And a lot of times when she was writing, that's what she was listening to in the background. I also am a fan of Muse. So, yes, I do like Stephanie Meyer as well.
That's a lot of books. I think people who didn't usually read very much read those books. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So
Now, if we're going to talk real vampires, the real question is, are you team Louis or are you team Lestat?
what is that from?
Interview with the Vampire.
I'm going with
Those are
Louis.
real vampires, not these glittery, shiny, sparkly ones with great hair.
I'm
Great
Team
hair.
Louis.
What, Jen?
I said I'm Team Louis.
Me too, because you guys know my thing about Tom Cruise, and I don't care. Even as a freaking vampire, homeboy has a tooth in the middle of his head. I can't unsee it ever. I just can't do it. Like cruel wise, like whoever, like if I was going to pick the cruelest, shadiest vampire, Lestat. But if I wanted to chill with a vampire, I'd be chilling with Louis.
Speaking of, there is a YouTube video that is an audiobook of Interview with a Vampire, and it is so well done. I'll send you the link, but it is really well done.
Oh,
I never watched it at all.
I enjoyed the audiobook. This version on YouTube, I enjoyed it more than the movie.
Really? The book
Yeah,
is
and that
supposed to
doesn't-
be better. That's one book I have not read.
Well,
is-
now you can with
Now
your
I
ears.
can with my ears.
So this next call,
Yes. Wait, before you say that, can I just say
Yes.
that one thing that I enjoy about our little panels, and one thing that I think that we bring that's different to the case is you, because I like how right before we start the next call, Crime Curious Jen over here is going to give us the setup, the backstory, and all the things that we need to know to listen to this call, and I appreciate that. It's these little, it's these details. They are important. And unfortunately, when you're going through a trial, you don't have time to get all of the little details. But in my opinion, it's always the details that are so important. Hey, Melissa.
Yeah.
All right, now hit it.
Agree. Definitely agree. Okay.
So this next call is 2 days later. So we just had the conversation with Katrina, and so it's 2 days later. It's going to be October 26th at 7 p.m. Now these times are mountain times, which doesn't really matter, but I wanted to say it anyway. The next call is with Harley, but actually the next two calls are with Harley. One is 5 minutes and one is 5 minutes and 57 seconds.
Okay.
But prepare yourself because this is when Brenda takes the car away.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yep.
Here we go, yo. Now that song's in my head. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
I'm excited.
Me too. Here we go.
All right.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Why are you crying? Huh?
I hate Aunt Brenda.
Why? What did she do?
She made up all these lies about me and said that I spent $5,000 in 2 weeks because she sent me money 2 weeks ago supposedly, and then she didn't. And then she told everyone that I got fired from my job, and she showed up today and took the car and threw myself in front of the apartment. And then left.
And wait, you got fired from your job?
No, she made up those lies and said that to everyone.
Who showed up with her to take the car?
I don't know. So then I blocked her and I haven't said anything.
You what now?
I I blocked her and I haven't said anything.
I don't understand. Why would she get mad all of a sudden?
I don't know. But I don't care anymore. I just don't want to have to talk to her again.
I'm sorry, baby.
It's okay. But she was like calling Miss Judy and she was calling Amy Bowen and Katrina and like she was like, yeah, Harley got fired from her job, which I never did. I made up a whole story as to why I got fired, even though I never got fired. And then she told them that she sent me $5,000 2 weeks ago, which she never did. And she didn't even say anything about sending me money. I never asked her to send me money. And then she told them that I blew $5,000 in 2 weeks, which I didn't even do.
That was months ago she said that.
I know, she said that in June. And of course, $5,000 since June can be gone because I made like 5 rent payments.
Yeah.
$600.
I thought you were getting half off for working there.
And now I'm just now starting to get half off. You gotta earn that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Who did she come down there with and take your car?
I don't know.
You don't know who the other person was?
No, because what happened was she just randomly showed up, and then I knew why she had showed up, and I really didn't want to deal with all of that. So Tono went downstairs, and he was like, because I was supposed to be leaving to go to church when she came.
Yeah.
Because me and Brooke, we went out and we got stuff for our church Halloween party that we're having, and Amy had already called me like 2 days ago telling me all the stuff that she had said and telling me that she's going to take away my car and stuff. So then she's like talking to Tono and she's like, I need Harley's spare key. And then when he came to me and told me that, I knew exactly what she was doing. So I hid in my room and I watched everything out the window.
Did you get your stuff?
Huh?
Did Tono get your stuff?
Yeah. He was so mad because I guess we didn't realize that she put it outside. And he was like, give me your phone number, I want to talk to her right now. And I said I didn't give it to him. And then she has the audacity because our company...
You have 1 minute remaining.
Hey, when it hangs
Our
up, I'll
company-
call you back. Go ahead, what now?
Okay, our company sent out like a mass email to everyone about trash. Then she had the audacity to forward it to me.
About trash?
Yeah, like she hasn't said anything to me today, but she comes and takes away my car, but she has the audacity to forward me an email from the thing that's sent out to everyone. So I took her off of all the notifications from my apartment and everything. And I blocked her. I told Grandma and I called Aunt Katrina and I told them the entire story.
What did Aunt Katrina say?
She was just like, she's so crazy, like I don't understand, like.
So what did she do? She told that lady?
Thank you for using Global Telling.
I do want to apologize. At the beginning of that call, I think that I was unmuted, so I think you guys could hear me putting the dog under the covers with all the shaking of the collar, so I apologize.
We don't judge. We do not judge over here. You know this. Listen, I know what you have to do to get these to sound the way that they do, and it was a lot of work, and we're just grateful. So if we have to hear Kilo shaking his collar, that's fine. All right, here we go.
So this is actually the next day. She didn't call her right back like she said. nor did she try,
Oh,
because if she would have tried, I would have been able to see it in the call log, because it even shows me when she tries to make a call, but it doesn't go anywhere. So,
wow.
so she's
When,
about to tell a lie. Spoiler.
oh, I am shocked. I
I
don't know if
know.
I'm going to be able to recover.
I
All right.
know.
Is
So she
this,
waits
how
till the
long
next
is
day.
this one? Do I have enough time to have?
5.5 minutes.
Oh, perfect. Here we go.
Entering and recording.
Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
So the phone last night, something was wrong with the system when I tried to call you back, and I could never get it to work. I tried for a long time, I couldn't get it to work. But
It's okay.
but then I had to I was kind of confused about the whole car thing, and why it wasn't her car and all this stuff, and I had to, because I'd be having all these mental problems, and I had to really read some of my journals to figure all of it out, and now it makes sense. So I just wanted to call you back to see exactly what was going on about, why would she say that about your job?
I don't know. She's just a lunatic, and she makes up stuff.
So nothing happened at work?
No.
You're still working?
Yeah.
So
I literally just got off work.
She literally just took the side of left field and went crazy.
Yeah, she just made it up.
Alright, so I had to think about it and pray a lot about it, and I just wanted to tell you a few things. Think about it first and foremost. The more wisdom you get, the more suffering you're going to have, right? Think about it. It's Sunday.
The more what?
More wisdom you get, the more suffering you're going to have, right? Okay? Think about it. It was Sunday, right? And you were supposed to be doing stuff with your ministry, right? And all God's people have suffering. It mentions it a lot in the Bible. All God's people did time. Think about it. Jesus did time. Paul, John the Baptist, Timothy, Joseph, Jeremiah. They all did time, right? Talks a lot about it in the New Testament about God's people doing time and God's people having suffering. And sometimes you may want to ask yourself, God, well, why do we have to have suffering? And we're living to be right, and we're righteous. But that's how it is. So I just want you to remember that. You have to keep up with Ephesians 6 every day and put on that armor of God. Read Ephesians 6 about putting on the armor of God, And so that's what I have to say about that, And then also just, make sure you're praying to, Jesus, because, at the end of Matthew, it talks about how Jesus is the one with all power and authority. God gave it to him. God is
Come here, baby. Come here.
You have it all. You understand? So, the next thing is, you just gotta look at it like this. I know this is a trial of endurance and testing our faith. I mean, think about it. My arms are so small. They're so small you could take your fingers and touch them, each other, all the way up to my elbow almost. So small my arms are. I kind of look like really deathly sick, persecuted, afflicted, all those things. And I have to constantly deal with fighting with demons, vampires, and aliens every day, and a mental disturbance, But you can't give up your faith and confidence, and I'm proud of you for everything you're doing, and I'm proud of you for not reacting and letting her, suit her ignorance because she's sick. She needs help. You got to think, she did that same thing to me with the whole car thing, and it was borrowed grandpa's money, right? And she got mad because one night Sarah wrecked the four-wheeler. She wrecked my four-wheeler, and Sarah got hurt real bad, and this was the girl I went to school with, and she got hurt real bad and had to go to the hospital. All right, so I go to the hospital instead of coming home and call her when I get to the hospital and tell her, hey, I'm at the hospital. Sarah got in a four-wheel accident. Told her it was my four-wheeler. So then she calls me a liar and starts calling cops and goes crazy. So then they find out we are really at the hospital. that Sarah really did get hurt on the 411.
What?
So then
Chance, come here. Come here, Chance.
she like freaked out and turns it
You're
to something
fine.
else. Once she realizes she was wrong, she turns it to, oh, well, you and Sarah and them must have been doing drugs. Okay, I never did drugs.
Yeah, that's what she told me.
Right, okay. So the whole thing
Come on,
about it
baby.
was Uncle Tommy and Sarah's dad smoked pot together. But she turned it on Sarah because we were riding 4-wheelers.
Come on.
And so then she went on this whole thing trying to make it seem like whatever. That's just what she does. She wants to mentally and emotionally abuse people. So then she got mad because Uncle Tommy took my side and was like, no, they were not. They were running 4-wheelers. I just talked to Sarah's dad. And so then, she started from then on tripping and acting crazy and took the car just because she's been a butthole. But that's who she is. So my point I'm telling y'all that is, I'm in agreement with you that I don't care that you ever talk to her again. Okay? And I understand that.
I mean, she when I told you that she forwarded that email, I really wanted to write back and be like, please do not speak to me. Like, I don't want you in my life. But I didn't do it.
That's the right thing to do because here's why. It's hard. Because hate's a big word, and I know that you said that, and I know you're upset. But I know in your heart you don't hate somebody because that's just not who you are. And that's not, God's people don't have hate because if we had hate, Jesus would have a lot of hate for people, who persecuted him. Paul would have a lot of hate.
That's what Tano told me this morning.
Paul would have a lot of people who hate him.
This call is being terminated. Dialing of additional digits is not allowed. Please try again later.
Sorry, I guess I accidentally hit numbers.
Yeah, but anyway, what I was saying is just don't let the hate be in your heart because, to be honest with you, that's why I always shielded you from North Carolina because, and it was never anybody. Our family was always the people you grown up with in South Carolina. You know that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong. I know you have a good relationship with Mom, but other than that, I mean, and there was Mom and Dakota that we kept a relationship with off and on, but there was really nobody else ever. Once her dad died, we didn't have any reason to even, return to North Carolina. And I don't want to be, I'm not trying to make you be cold-hearted about it, but that's just why, because that's who she is. That's how most of them are anyway, and forget the story. So, the last thing, the next thing I was going to tell you is, it's going to be tough, but I got a plan, and I just want you to stay grounded on your faith, and you got to give me time to get this plan going. I've already been working on it today, but I got to get somebody to make some calls privately, and that way I can fix it or whatever, but I just need you to know what we're doing, and I'll figure it out. Just got to give me a little bit of time to get it in play again. Like I said, I got to have some people whose calls aren't being monitored to make some phone calls, and no matter what happens, I give my life for you, so we're going to take care of it, all right? And it's all good, but it's all be over. All right, we just got to have confidence and endurance and faith and patience and all that stuff, but I am working on something else for you. I got somebody who's going to call some people for me to find out some stuff so I can get some stuff going. And I have a plan, like I said. It's going to take me a little bit. So for now, you got a way to get to work because you're right there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about your rent for next month?
I have a credit on my account, so I only have to pay like $100.
Okay. But you got money for food and stuff and all right now, right?
Yeah.
Be honest.
I do.
Okay. Because so I was trying to add it up in my head because you said 600. And I didn't remember when it was she told me that because I told you about me having all these mental lapses. But I went back and found it in my journal, so it was in the summer. So I was like, 6 times 5 is $3,000.
Plus utilities every month, plus
Plus what?
groceries.
Plus what, utilities?
plus my utilities, plus groceries.
So y'all have to pay utilities plus $600?
Yeah, but I mean, I get a discount now because I work there, but like it's rent plus utility cleaning.
Are you getting the half price now?
Yeah, it's only like $380 there.
Okay, so basically like $500 with utilities.
Yeah, well, the utilities were $150 these last couple months just because it was the summer and they had 3 floors, so it took a lot. But right now it's only going to be like $60.
A person?
Yeah.
Y'all had to pay $150 a person for
Yeah,
utilities?
I know. Yeah.
Okay, so this is something you gotta think about too. Like okay, I know you're gonna have to be there until June, and then we got plenty of time to figure that part out, but that's just, I mean, we didn't even pay that at the farm. You know what I'm saying? And I get it's relatively located. You know,
But that includes Wi-Fi, trash, cable, all that stuff.
I know, but baby, 150 times 4. Do the math.
Mom, I had already talked to the company. I told them that was ridiculous and that they were chipping people and they didn't even cost that much on a house, but it's just what happened and they couldn't do anything about it. But the bill's fixed, it's only like $50.
So you're saying you said something and they acted on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was just because it was the summertime and our AC kept going out and to air all 3 floors. And
Yeah. Okay. Well, as long as you said something about it, because that is crazy. That's exorbitant for sure. But anyway, so, alright, so I'm gonna have somebody get you the money for December. I'm sure Aunt Katrina probably, did she tell you she's gonna give you some money?
Yeah.
Okay, well, she's going to. And,
then I have to pay my phone bill every month, which is $100, and I have to pay the dog's vet fees every month, which is $80.
Alright, so what I want you to do before the next time I call you, because I'm going to get, so I'm going to try to get somebody to get you enough to get to February, and I'll explain why. To take my retirement out, I gotta have my ID, but I don't have a way to get it, but I do have an ID on the computer or somewhere, an email or something that we can find. I need a copy of it because a copy has to go with the retirement paperwork. That's why I haven't been able to do it because I don't have that. But I do remember there's somewhere in there that in one of my emails that has a copy of I can send that off. So I'm going to have someone to help you pay that stuff for it. If I send it off in the next week or two, it'd be like 90 days before it comes out. That'd be enough to last you for a long time. Because they'll take out federal taxes on it and everything like that. And I don't need anything, so I'll be fine. But so I'll work on doing that. So I'm going to get someone to help you with November and December, and then that way I can get a head start on because it's November next month, right? I don't even know the month anymore. Right?
Yeah, it's October.
Okay, so November, December, I'll have somebody help you with that. Probably January too, because by the time we make it all happen, it would probably be February if you're counting 90 days. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I send that paperwork off, I'll just send the power of attorney with it too. And then you'll have to give the bank account information because I think they deposit it right to the bank account from what I remember. But it's on South Carolina PIBA. I'm going to get someone to look it up to see, and I need to get the papers printed off and sent to me or whatever. But that's what I'm going to be working on. I got one of the guys that is in the J group here. They're going to have their mom mail it to me. Those paperwork.
That person texted me back a while ago, but it was like that long period of time where I didn't talk to me, so I forgot the name.
Oh yeah, can you just write them back. I didn't know who you were talking about when you told me last time, but then I remembered. Like I told you, my brain is just forgetting all this stuff, and my mind is crazy. But yeah, so what was I gonna say?
On October 13th, can you tell Letecia that my son went back to school in the same place? Thank you.
Can you write her back now and just say that I said hi and how's everything going with him? And he's going to have her send paperwork, that Tivo stuff, so I can get it done or whatever. So we just got to get to like February. I would say you could have it probably by February. So that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna call you, Katrina, about helping you in November, and then I got someone else that could probably help you with December. I just got to have somebody call them privately so they don't know their number here, and then we'll figure out January, and then by February you should be able to have it, and then that'd be enough for. I mean, I would tell you probably you could probably use it to buy you something to drive, and then it's yours, and you ain't got to worry about nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You got to worry about nobody else. And that way, well, you got to worry about this stuff anymore. And see, the whole plan was I was going to give her money back for her stupid car, but obviously I'm not going to be able to get it until this is over with. But she can take it and cram it up nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
I really still have the other set of keys. I can just go there and take it, but then she was trying to charge my car or something.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't let her take that, because see, I'm going to tell you what happens is people come up and they start to tell her stuff. She's got all these cousins and friends. And what's so bad is she wrote me all these letters, and I just got these letters, and I had, I had to go back and read my journal to remember some of the stuff, because I told you my mind is not right. So I had to go back and read some of the stuff, and I when she had wrote that about the money and everything, and then she just wrote me a letter the other day, and I wrote her back before I knew this, so she's going to get a letter of me, talking to her and thanking her. But I hope she gets it and opens it and realizes how horrible it was that she done this, But
and it's not even the fact that she took the car. I'm just okay, whatever. It's more so the fact that she said all this stuff that wasn't true. And then I have Amy and Miss Dee and everyone texting me what, you lost your job? I'm what are you talking about?
Well, I hope Amy knew that she was crazy.
Yeah, she did. That's why she was she had already known, so she wasn't gonna assume.
Yeah, she's stupid. And then I hope Dee knows. Here's the thing that pisses me off is because the other day when I called her, she was talking to her crap about Dee and Amy. I was like, yeah, she was like, Harley's doing nothing but is badly influenced by Miss Dee and Amy. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I just thought she was having a manic stage and going crazy,
She always does that, and it would really hurt Miss Dee's feelings because she sent her this rudest text message. I don't even know.
Well, I sure hope Dee knows. Just I'm sorry, and not to talk to her because she's crazy.
Mom, what's the difference between a TransUnion credit score and an Equifax score?
There's different companies. Did you get your name off those authorized user things?
Yeah, but so for TransUnion, I have a 580, but for Equifax, I have a 668.
Well, then you need to check the TransUnion, because then your name might be reporting to TransUnion.
Okay.
To get them above a 600 and some, because if you get that money, you can go get it. Well, I'd rather you pay cash for one, but because insurance is going to be $200 some, probably. So yeah. So if you need to get your TransUnion report, because there's probably something they're reporting for one of those cards, or if St. Brenda had you on something, it could be too, because your score should be way higher than that. Because once they take you off those cards for me, you were on there for years, so that's why it was so high. And then
yeah, my score was very high, but I guess on my credit card that I had I made sure my account was linked, so any minimum payment it would just be taken out if I forgot to make the full payment or something, just in case, so I didn't get a late fee. But I guess like the account information's wrong, so it was like the payment was like 1 day late, and then it was like I don't know what happened.
Yeah, but if it's 1 day late, they're not reporting that to credit.
I don't know. I'll have to call them.
Yeah, and then you have to also think making minimum payments are not good for your credit score. So the payment.
I don't ever make minimum. I just get off the thing today, but that like I just put my card on there for a minimum just in case like I forgot to pay it if something was taken away.
Got you. Yeah, so you need to call to get the TransUnion report and go ahead and get that handled. So we'll have that handled in the next 30 days or so. For right now, I mean, you're right there at work and you're not having to drive to campus or anything. I know it sucks. You're just going to be confident and tell Tono I appreciate it.
You have 1 minute remaining.
And tell them I appreciate him for helping out or whatever. And we're going to work on it, but you need to get that TransUnion up because if you get that money, you can either probably pay, insurance up for a long time and your rent up for a long time. You see what I'm saying? And then you'll get you a car or vice versa, pay for a car and then just pay on the other ones. But we're going to figure it out. We're going to get through it, all right?
Okay.
Just take this time of relaxing and make sure you're praying to God and everything else. And listen, God's going to take care of his people, okay? Don't forget that.
Lisa helps me not spend money.
What?
I said Lisa helps me not spend money.
I love you so much. And you got enough money for food and stuff for the next couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to get you some more. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Love you so much.
Love you too.
Oh, we need to talk about those calls.
Don't we?
Yeah, so let's start with when the car got taken away.
Okay.
So it was 2 calls, but basically, 5 minutes on the first one and 15 on the second. So 20 minutes worth of calls. But they were both back to back on the 27th. And then the next call that we're going to hear is Aunt Katrina, who she called immediately after hanging up with Harley, also on the 27th. But so Harley was in her bedroom. Aunt Brenda came over. Amy had called Harley 2 days prior and said all of the stuff that Aunt Brenda was saying about Harley. And Harley didn't deal with it. So Aunt Brenda showed up and took the car. She had her own key to the car. Harley hid in the room. Tono went downstairs and said Harley wasn't home. Aunt Brenda took all Harley's stuff out of the car, put it on the ground in front of their apartment, asked for the spare key, and bailed with Harley's car. Well, with Aunt Brenda's car, but you know what I mean.
Can I say one thing really quick?
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to thank Donna for her super sticker. It was incredibly generous. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. I just wanted to be able to say that. And I want to thank everybody again for being here and just being so cool in chat. You guys are really great, and I appreciate that. Okay.
Yeah, and we know how polarizing the topic of Harley can be. And I might lose some friends at the end of my little rant here. But these calls just upset me so much. These 2 calls in particular.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, the call before these 2 was the day before, and it was a 5-minute long call. And I'm going to call you right back. And then she never did. And like I said, I have proof that she didn't, because I can also show you every other time it's told me when she's even attempted a call.
Yeah.
And,
So when they send the jail,
right.
when they send the jail calls, you guys, they send a call log with it. So, I mean, the information is somewhat redacted. I mean, we're not going to know, you know what I mean? But you can tell when a call doesn't go through, right? Is that how I'm explaining it right? Okay.
Yeah, and it shows why it didn't go through. She didn't put her PIN number in right, or she didn't use the verbal password correctly, or she hung up, or they hung up, or it was rejected, or there's great detail, but it shows even when the PIN is incorrectly entered. So she never tried to call Harley back after Harley called crying about the car. And here's my theory. My theory is the reason why she waited until the next day to call is because Letecia has been carefully putting all of this vampire BS out there and the selective amnesia and, I don't know who Katie is, and the Volturi, and, all of this stuff. And she's just going a little bit deeper with every call, whether that, and she's starting to talk to Harley about it, but, in a more gentle manner, right?
Yeah, he's a real general. She
Right.
doesn't go into any specifics, and it's weird because, or weird's not the right word. It's interesting in the way she does it because she really sort of blurts it out really quick, as if she's saying, the other, like to, for example, me right now, this is what I was just thinking. I should have paced myself on that burrito because now it's making me burp because I scarfed it down listening to Teresa's live because I was also trying to chat. And I wish that I hadn't because now it's made me burp like 3 or 4 times. So that's my point. Like she says it like that.
Right. So she had to take overnight and into her next hour out to think of a way that she could address the issue of Aunt Brenda taking the car with Harley while also seeming like she's mentally ill.
That's
And
a
that
lot.
was and that was her problem. So when she started the call, she mentioned how she was battling demons and vampires and aliens every day in a mental disturbance. Well, first of all, Letecia, if you know that it's a mental disturbance, you wouldn't be pretending that they're real. If you're aware that the demons and the vampires and the aliens are bullshit and part of a mental disturbance, you wouldn't be trying to pawn it off on other people as real. So again, you've told on yourself, liar.
Right. I have an aunt by marriage who's schizophrenic, and the voices to her are very real. There
Right.
isn't anything that you can say. There's no magic combination of words. There's nothing that you can do. She doesn't say there are moments though when she has said to me before, you cannot imagine what the voices in my head tell me to do. But she isn't aware that we all can't hear it too.
Right. 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 But even the way she presented it to Harley, every day in a mental disturbance, I'm battling demons and vampires and aliens, and it's crazy. Okay, but if you know it's a mental disturbance, yeah, I already said,
When I've said, it's like when I've asked, it's like when somebody asks, am I crazy? Okay. People who are really in a delusion don't know that they're in a delusion. It's real
Right.
to them. Now, maybe after the situation and there's, intervention with meds and even then it takes a very, very long time. And not all people recognize it's very complex. Letecia is full of crap. She's not complex.
Right. And so the way that she tried to present it, that she could talk to Harley about the situation, is because she's read these journals, and she brought it up in the beginning and the middle and the end of the conversation, not for Harley's benefit, but for the benefit of the district attorney's office, who she knows damn good and well is listening to these phone calls. She may not have known that these phone calls would be on the ward case studies, but she knew damn good and well that people who were trying to poke holes in her bullshit in real time at the district attorney's office were listening to these phone calls. So she's like, yeah, shout out to the DA. The only reason I know this about the car is because I read my journals.
Right. She's her. Thank you, Sky Flash, so much. He wants to know, was Aunt creeped out by the story and maybe worried for Harley? Maybe that's what I think that's what they're asking.
Oh no, we'll get into.
We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Y'all pay show sales.
And I'm sorry. Just shut me up because like I said, these phone calls got me, so I'm a little bit.
No, I want you to get it out. No, get it out. This is what we're all.
I really
here
need
for.
to.
I want to hear what you have to say. If I didn't want to hear what you had to say, I would listen to these calls alone.
I need the therapy after being on these calls all day.
All right, you guys. Now we're all going to give Crime Curious a little therapy. We're going to be there for our friend, like we're supposed to.
Well, listen. All God's people did time, and suffering equals wisdom. And I mean, so is she saying that like God took the car away because it was a Sunday? Did you hear that part?
Yes, and she wasn't supposed to. Yeah, I'm like, wait, what?
Which part?
The part
She's
where
probably
she. Go ahead, Allie.
she's probably talking about herself because she's more focused on herself than anybody. And also,
Oh,
just really
absolutely.
quick, the way that she says mental disturbance when she said after all that, it's like she read it in a book. You know what I mean? And then she's repeating it, like what
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
happens.
Yes. Yes. Like she's reading it and plagiarizing it at the same time, but forgot. Kind of like when you read a script and you read the character's name that you're supposed to be reading, but you read it as part of what the
Yeah,
character is supposed to be saying. Like that. That's what
exactly.
she did.
Yeah.
Well, that's ludicrous.
Luda.
Oh my God. Oh, and how about, how Aunt Brenda is mentally and emotionally abusive? I mean, she goes as far as to say Brenda is sick. She needs help.
Bruh.
Now, I'm not
The
saying that
call is
Brenda is
coming
well.
from inside of the house, Letecia.
Right, right. Like, I'm not saying Brenda is well, right? I'm
We're-
I'm I'm certainly not Team Brenda. However, I mean, Brenda is getting used, but Brenda's got some issues. But to hear that coming out of Leticia's mouth is something else entirely. Like Brenda would
Yes.
say, well, that's a horse of a different color.
Yes. Aunt Brenda, now I'm speaking directly to you if you're listening, ma'am. They putting dirt on your good name. You want to refute anything they said? Call me. My email's in
Connie,
my about section.
right? So then she references the journal again, and then she's got a plan. She's got a plan, and she's got somebody who's going to call some people for her and get some stuff
Mm-hmm.
going for her. Because she can't be specific. Now she's talking about Amy Lang. We already know that. Thank you, Critical K and the Glarer.
Yes. Can I also just say right now what we're talking about? The number of people in chat is 666. So one of y'all go get a friend, get 3 friends. We can't
Right.
have it at 666. Okay. I just can't do it. That's too much. Leticia's already got a dark passenger, and we don't need that smoke. All right.
That happened with me the other day. I looked up the damn lifeguard book. She was talking about reading the lifeguard book.
Yes.
And Lifeguard is a book by James Patterson. But if you look at Amazon, it has 666 reviews. I was like, nope.
Nope. Bye-bye. It's that damn Dubuque rearing its ugly head again. This Dubuque will not
Mhm.
leave us alone.
Right?
It's been with us since NK when she choked a little on that Dubuque and that clock.
Uh-huh.
Ugh.
Right. And then she talked about how she had just written Aunt Brenda a letter. Or as she would say it, I just wrote Aunt Brenda a letter, but well, I guess that would work. But anyway, she wrote Aunt Brenda a letter. I said, see, I'm just so excited. And it was thanking her for the car, for getting Harley a car. So Letecia really hopes that she's going to get that letter and feel guilt and realize that what she did was horrible. So Leticia's thank you note, she's very happy will be used to give her a guilt trip and make her feel terrible. Because she didn't
Right.
mean it anyway.
Right.
Manipulation, as
Again,
usual.
right. And she just straight manipulates it. Well, maybe that'll make her feel bad.
Exactly.
I don't know what I was going on about wrote and written. Anyway, and then so she starts talking to Harley about the budgeting, and of course brings up the journaling again because this is she read the journal and that's why she can talk about money.
Right.
Just,
I mean, because
Mike Allen.
the Volturi, they math differently. Is math somehow different when you're a vampire? I don't understand that.
Right. So, and then she said, I don't even know the month anymore. She just slides in these little bullshit things that go right over Harley's head. Harley's still under the impression that they're talking about Harley. No, 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 no. You happen to be involved in a conversation that Letecia is having with the district attorney's office, and you're benefiting like tertiary gain.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Exactly.
And if that, because to be quite frank, I don't her math doesn't make sense to me, and these life lessons don't make sense either.
Right. And so, and then my next note, she's like, so Harley's like, so I heard from that person, and we already know she's talking about Edwin Figueroa,
Right.
the guy that's in for killing the 17-year-old.
Correct. The
And
guy, this is her toilet talk partner, just so you guys can keep this all straight.
right.
He actually, I have to say this as a little spoiler alert. This person plays a huge role in the jail files.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yes, he does. And so not only does Edwin Figueroa have Harley's phone number, a fellow murderer and inmate where she's incarcerated,
Right.
but this guy's mom is also texting Harley. So, I guess, we're just all meeting the family. I mean, I really think this guy might be George Glass.
Yeah. I'm kind of
Yeah.
thinking that he might be as well.
Yeah,
I'm very curious about this. Yeah.
I think Edwin is her dude. So somebody asked, but why did Aunt Brenda take the car away? So Aunt Brenda, according to Aunt Brenda, it's because Harley was shacked up with that boy, which is Tono, which is Charlotte's brother. There's 4 of them living in the apartment. It's a 3-story apartment. Harley actually works for the apartment complex. And so she doesn't even have to drive to work. So, you heard her say it. It's no big deal that Aunt Brenda took the car. I mean, she ain't got shit to do otherwise, basically. That's not what was said, obviously.
Not verbatim. We're not on trial here. So
Right.
this isn't, this is just a synopsis, not an exact, what is it? Not an exact transcription.
Right. So Harley lives where she works. And you heard at the end of the call, she's like, well, hey, I mean, thanks for helping me save money, saying that now she doesn't have to pay for insurance, and now she doesn't have to pay for gas, right?
Right.
Thanks for helping me save money. Like, thanks for taking the car. That's Harley trying to be positive about it, right?
Right. Exactly.
But the reason Aunt Brenda says that she took the car is because Harley is all shacked up with Tono, and he's not paying any bills, and he's, driving Harley's car, and, he's just a no good, do nothing, saggy pants wearing such and such. Okay. And we get that from the prison calls, the calls between Letecia and Aunt Brenda. Once Letecia is at Denver Women's, that's where we get Brenda's version of why she took the car from Harley on, October 26th of 2020. But I do want to point something out. And the reason I paused is because if we were on a stage, people would probably throw tomatoes, but I feel it my responsibility to point something out that's going to piss some people off. In Harley's version of the story, through her GoFundMe and at trial, when she was defending the GoFundMe, it basically ruined her life that Aunt Brenda took that car away, because then she had no way to get to and from school. That was a lie. Harley is not going to school at this time. That was embellished to make people feel sorry for her. If that means that you're not my friend anymore because I spoke on it, then I'm sorry, but I hope you know that I have to be objective. I'm not throwing Harley under the bus. I am simply stating something that I noticed and documented. In this series of phone calls, Aunt Brenda's a liar. Aunt Brenda lied about, giving Harley $5,000, and she went through it in 2 weeks, right?
Right.
Because Aunt Brenda gave her $5,000 in June. This is October. Aunt Brenda's a liar. Letecia's a liar. And I'm sorry, but Harley is also a liar in this situation. And that's just in the situation. And I'm going to stop, like, I don't know, doing my version of mansplaining. I'm going to stop writer-splaining. But it's just fact. She's not in school. She's not in school when Brenda takes the car. Anyway, it's neither here nor there, but I said what I said. Okay, somebody stop me.
Allie, stop her.
It's kind of sad because it sounds like it reminds me of like something that her mom would do, like lie, like make a situation worse for sympathy. You know what I mean? Like it makes me wonder. I don't know. It's crazy.
Makes a good argument for the nature versus nurture, right? This particular component, I think, it's probably, again, like I always think, my opinion is that it's combination of both. However, I think that somebody who's in the psychiatric field might actually make the argument that this is actually an example of nurture, that Harley has seen that lying works, and so
How
that's
could
what
she
she
not?
does.
Yeah.
I mean, the truth of the matter is about human beings do what works. And so that's why when that's why they'll tell you when you're raising children that you have to be consistent, because if you're not, then you're not going to get them to mind. So if it's no, it's no every time, not sometimes. And I think that just the fact is, and these are just the facts, she didn't tell the truth in that GoFundMe campaign, in the description of it. It doesn't mean that she's a horrible person. It just is what it is. People lie all the time. Some lies are worse than other lies, right? And I think we can all agree to that. I think that I think what's particularly disturbing about this call to me is that it's a very good example of how Letecia has multiple victims of varying degrees. And I do believe Harley is a victim of Letecia, because when Letecia decided to take Gannon's life, it was a ripple effect. And Harley, just because you turn 18 and you're a legal adult doesn't mean that you are equipped to go and live in this world on your own with no help. In fact, I don't know an 18-year-old that is. And when I was 18, I thought I was, but when I look back on how I really, and I'm like, no, I know why my parents were afraid that I was going to have a baby, because I was not equipped to be making decisions for myself and another human being. I did it. There was a lot of learning curves and whatnot as you do, but I had guidance. Letecia, the only time Harley can get guidance from Letecia is if Letecia has money on her books so that she can call. That's fucked up. And you don't have to be listen, this channel, Allie's channel and Jen's channel, I know for a fact, as long as you're respectful to each other and to me and to my panel guests in expressing your opinion, we don't all have to agree. We don't.
100%.
In fact, it's funner when we don't. It's not a word. It's more fun when we don't. It makes it more interesting. As long as you're respectful about it. I don't, I can't say whether I'm a fan or not a fan of Harley, because honestly, I don't know her like that. So it's hard for me to say. But there are a lot of times when when I listen to some of the stuff and I read some of the stuff that I do feel bad for Harley.
I go back and forth.
Luckily,
my opinion has no place in the book.
Right. We're just,
I have I'm always rooting for her. I have this soft spot for her where I want her to be better and successful.
Yeah.
But then I hear things like this and I'm like, oh God, so I don't know. And then also when we talk about the trip to Florida, and I don't know, I just have thoughts about some of that stuff, but I mean, we'll never know. So I try to just hope that she'll move on and do good and not be like her mother. But then,
Yes.
Yeah.
I root for her too. I don't want Harley to not do, I root for her success. You know, and
what's up?
whatever she's going to do, whether she is or isn't, remains to be seen. She's young. She's young. And I know that the law says that at 18 you can make decisions, but the truth of the matter is science does not back that up. The part of your brain that goes into decision making and impulse control, etc., isn't even developed until you're 25. And that is an average. Some people may be a little earlier, some people may be a little bit later, and it depends on, there's some factors that go into that. But the truth of the matter is, it's one thing if Harley would have decided, you know what, I'm 18, I'm fixing to blow this pops in. Peace out, Girl Scout, right? And then she struggled. That's a quote unquote normal process, right? But this is not normal at all, you know? And on top of it, you know, not only is Letecia at this point in the timeline, she's been accused. We haven't gone to trial yet. Now we all know how the story ends. We all I believe she's guilty. The jury believed that she was guilty. The judge believed the jury got it right, etc. Right? And the state for sure. So at this point, now not only is her mom locked up for this, being accused of this heinous crime, but we're moving into, it's about to get worse. Like Harley is thinking all the stuff that's going on online is the worst it's going to get, and it's going to get worse because when that PCA comes out, it's going to be bad. Do you know what I mean? And so I root for her. I root for her. I hope she does. I hope she overcomes the obstacles, beats the odds, and is successful.
Agree. Me too. Who's our next call, Jen?
So we have one more call, and it is to Aunt Katrina, and it's a full 15 minutes. It's on October 27th, and it's directly after the call that she just had with Harley. Well, the two calls that she just had with Harley. But for those with earbuds, just a quick warning. The baby is a little bit loud in this one, so be prepared for shrieking baby time. But you know, quite frankly, I don't even have any notes on this next call because I was so blown away by the last two calls. So I'll be taking notes in real time on this one. But yeah, so keep in mind she's just had those two calls with Harley, and referenced her journals, and then she calls Katrina immediately after Harley.
All right, are we ready?
I am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, let's go.
Hey. How are you? Huh? What you mean?
The doctor was just sitting here talking to me, and I don't even know. You know, talking about taking some other kind of meds or something like that and stuff. He was just saying I wasn't being compliant taking medicine. I don't like medicine, so.
You got to be nice, Katie. So, you're saying you didn't know who it was?
No, I don't know who he is. He just said he's a doctor here.
So you haven't been taking your medicine?
I mean, I do, but like, it just doesn't work like that. Like, I don't, it just doesn't work like that. Like I don't need stuff like that. You know.
Mhm.
I mean, I need my stomach meds, but that's all I need. I don't need anything else.
Uh-huh. Okay. What did you tell him that?
Yeah, but he was like, I think that you're getting borderline psychotic, so I'm a little worried.
Mhm.
He's like, I don't think you're all the way there yet, but I think you're borderline psychotic right now.
Uh-huh. And what'd you say?
I just said, okay.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you still haven't had any visits?
I didn't have any this week.
None came, or you didn't approve any?
I mean, I didn't. None came this week.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah, Daisy was just asking me why was I drinking my blood out my nose.
How are you drinking blood out of your nose?
Because my nose bleeds a lot, so that's what I do is I drink the blood.
Why?
Because that's what I like, is we like blood.
No. No, honey, no. That'll make you sick.
But I tried to explain to him that I like it.
Okay, yeah. Mm.
It's so cold in here.
Did you ask them for another blanket?
They said we can't have any more, that we just get two.
Even though you're cold?
Yeah, like it's so cold in our room, you can blow out smoke. Because it's snowing.
That makes no sense.
No. I just keep putting my hands and feet into hot water and just let them sit there.
And they don't...
I don't even have socks or anything.
Did you ask for socks?
You're not allowed to have them here in this place, I said.
Why?
I just said people try to kill themselves.
With socks?
Yeah. I just told him about that. I just was telling the doctor, I said, I don't understand why these people are keep doing this, because it's like some big conspiracy, and like I can't even have like any kind of socks, or like he was like, well, why can't you eat better? Because like you can take your finger and you can like, you know how you like wrap your finger on your arm and close it? You can touch your fingers probably all the way up to almost my elbow. And that's how like tiny.
And they don't have an issue with that?
They just said that I don't take a lot of meds, so I don't qualify for a snack. But I wrote and asked him why come I can't like buy some, but he told me no. And then, so that's why he came, because he said that the isolation was making my my brain do things that it shouldn't do because I was so isolated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, because I told him about how like so like we got a new person, Jamie, in our group, and then I was telling him about that, and I told him about like how Jamie comes in the room sometimes, and I told him about like how there's this like relationship going on.
Who?
Huh?
Who has a relationship?
So like how they want you to do in our group is like you have like they come in, you know, say they come in your room or whatever, like say Justice comes in your room or Jasmine or something like that. You know, like everybody's like in relationships together. You know what I mean? And so.
No, I don't.
like heterosexual relationships, you know. But it's just hard to explain to people because like, you know, they have to understand that we still serve God and Jesus is still, you know, all power and authority. You know, so it's not like we still follow those, you know, those rules because, you know, at the end of Matthew it says all power and authority goes to Jesus, you know, so we still give all the power and authority to him, but like we still do things that he allows us to do, which is have like, as long as you have like heterosexual relationships with each other and stuff like that. So like Jasmine and Jamie are now like with each other, and so like when they come,
is that a man and a woman?
Yeah, and that's my bed preference. So when they like come in my room, you know, sometimes they might use my other bed, or they might sleep, or like they might write something on my little desk or something. So I just was telling him about that because I was like, well, you know, these people are coming in there or something, and he was like, you're involved in, I think he said, are you involved in incubus? And I was like, I don't know. But I was explaining to him, and he was like, yeah, that's incubus.
What the devil does that mean?
Well, he tried to say that we weren't really in relationships with each other, that none of it was real. And I was like, yes, it is. So he's trying to say that I'm like basically crazy, but I'm not crazy. He's like, you're not psychotic yet, but like, it's like borderline because, you know, you are like, you have relationships with these people. And I was like, no, they're real people. Like, they're real people, you know? So, he just doesn't understand because he's not in here enough to get to see him, you know? And like, my pupils have been really, really, really dilated. And my speech just got really slow.
Mm. Okay.
I still have a hard time like remembering some of this stuff unless I read about it. Right, that's sad.
Okay.
Freezing.
I still don't understand why they won't give you another blanket. That makes no sense.
I was reading my journal and I don't understand a lot of it because I'm supposed to be training here, but I'm not. Like, none of it makes any sense. And like some of these people, I don't even know, you know, and I just explain to them. I don't know how to like tell them any other way. Like, I know who you are because I've known you all my life, but like some of these people, I try to tell them, they're like, you were talking such and such whatever month, and I have to be like, for me, I still thought it was December, and so when I go back and read stuff, it doesn't make any sense to me, and I tried to tell him that, like, none of this even makes any sense about it when I have all this missing, but I don't know if you're really tricking me because I don't know if he's really on, you know, some trick group or something that he's in. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know whether he's with them or not because what if he's with these people in this GameStop? It's this conspiracy, you know, so he might be part of it.
Yeah, you need more help than what they're giving you, honey.
They just keep looking at me, and the guy was just like, yeah, but he just said to me, he goes, you're super, super, super intelligent, so we just don't want you to get too psychotic. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm trying to tell him all this stuff is really going on, and there's this big flare in this gap, and like, how do I get that gap back? Because I had never had my head checked. According to my journals, I experienced so much head trauma, and I never even had my head checked.
So they never checked them.
No, I mean, you would have to get like a MRI or something, right? I mean, and then like when the whole thing, when my body went numb on my left arm and left leg, I mean, what if that had been like a mini stroke or something?
Right. But they didn't check none of that.
No, I mean, I guess because they just keep telling me something about isolation and security. I just was like, security? You don't have security? I've not done anything to be on security. No, I just don't. I don't know how to understand that.
Yeah, that makes no sense. So are you back on another floor?
Yeah.
Do you have clothes?
Yep, clothes, yep.
Have you been writing any letters?
I just wrote somebody and told them I didn't know who they were and to like not write me because I have no idea who these people are.
Who was it?
She said she was friends with my mom and she worked with her.
What's her name?
Jane.
But
I don't know anybody named Jane that works with my mom, so I just told her I don't.
Wait a minute, wait, she's about to take you. Oh, I was telling Katie to hang on a minute.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that's that. And then, I gotta tell you about the other thing. So, I only got 2 ways that I'm gonna be able to help Harley, and I'm sure you know one of them. And then the other one, I'm sure it's probably not in my best interest, but I'm gonna have to do it probably. So if you don't hear from me for a while, I'll probably be handling stuff, but because I gotta make sure she's.
You have 1 minute remaining.
She get the help she needs until later on. So.
No, I'm confused.
Because about she's gotta have money to pay for somewhere to live. So I gotta. I'm working on that. So. Obviously, there's an
Isn't she working?
obvious way. Well,
Isn't she working?
Yeah, but you gotta think she's only making like $800, and then take away taxes, probably makes like 5 or 6. So then her rent is $600, and then food and grocery and stuff like that. And Brenda took her car. She don't have a way. So.
Yeah, she told me.
I knew that was gonna happen because she's stupid and she does those things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
That's to be expected.
Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hello.
Wow, is all I can say. Wow.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. Let me just say this to you guys. Okay, the jail files reveal a lot. Obviously, there are some things that won't be in the jail file, okay, because they're, private health information. But what I can tell you is this. I distinctly, and she referenced Dr. Torres in another call, like 2 calls ago, okay, when she was talking to Aunt Katrina. And if I'm not mistaken, that is the same Dr. Torres that testified. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay, I have to question my own self every once in a while after listening to Letecia, because trying to make sense of the nonsense is a lot. So, I do remember when Dr. Torres testified. And the thing about it is, anytime Letecia pulled any of her self-harm claims, she was checked out by mental health. Now, I understand that listen, it is jail and it is being paid for by the state, and it's not ideal, but it is not nothing either. And what I distinctly remember Dr. Torres saying repeatedly, and this is noted in some of the reports, is that Letecia is basically a liar. She doesn't actually exhibit true signs of being psychotic or in some sort of psychosis. She exhibits somebody feigning being psychotic. So it's infuriating. It's infuriating. And then waits. She starts out the conversation, and Letecia knows how many minutes she has on her calls, right? She knows there's only 15 minutes. So she spends 14 and a half talking about herself and 30 seconds talking about Harley, which is actually the intention of the call. She's laying the foundation for the dry bag that's about to come. But here comes Aunt Katrina asking the important questions. Isn't she working?
Right.
Yeah. Drinking oh my God, that made my stomach
Right, the
turn.
nose
She's
blood.
nasty.
Right.
Ugh.
Exactly. It's gross.
Baby, you need more help than they're giving you.
No, she's where she needs to be. None of this is real, Aunt Katrina. And I'm
No,
sorry she
absolutely
put you
not.
through it. And I'm sorry she put you through it, because I think probably what Aunt Katrina, and this is just a guess, what Aunt Katrina is thinking is that due to the nature of the crime that she was accused of at that time, that Letecia, for her own safety, has to be kept away from other prisoners. That is true. And that perhaps Letecia being away from all those people is making her a little nutty. And I think Aunt Katrina might be actually genuinely kind of worried for her, but she doesn't have access or know all the things. All she can know is what Letecia's telling her. That's it. That's the
Right.
scope of her knowledge.
I think that Aunt Katrina is under the impression that being locked up has made the cheese slide the rest of the way off her cracker.
Correct.
I mean, Aunt Katrina could believe that she's lost her mind, but it's because she's been locked up for something that she didn't do. At this point, I think that's what Aunt Katrina thinks.
I agree. What you think,
But yeah,
Allie?
she spent
Sorry,
14
go
and a
ahead.
half. She spent 14 and a half minutes playing the vampire game, and then brings up Harley. I mean, and like I said, those calls were back to back.
Right.
And then we'll start tomorrow night on Allie's channel. The first call will be Harley, but it's 3 days after this one. She didn't call anybody for 3 days.
Okay. That's another thing I wanted to address. That was a setup. Okay.
Yeah.
What she does is she lays the foundation by saying, Harley's in some fiduciary troubles, and I'm going to have to do some things that are not in my best interest. I got to handle up on some stuff, so you probably won't be hearing from me for a while. That is her saying, that's her like leaving the door open for Aunt Katrina to say, no, I don't want you doing any of that. I'll help her. Don't you worry about it. But see, Aunt Katrina,
Right.
because she was too busy with the child and then the self-checkout,
Right.
did not walk through that door.
Right. Doesn't she have a job?
Right. She's like, doesn't she have it? What's the big deal? What you mean, hey? Like, what's going on?
And Aunt Katrina at this point has spent 7 months, fighting her ass off for Letecia. And now Leticia's refusing all the visits and drinking the nose blood and and that part where Katrina is just like, no, 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 no,
That'll
no.
make you sick. So will not bathing for weeks on end. But hey, what do I know?
Mm-mm-mm.
Indeed.
Unbelievable, you guys.
It was a good batch of calls tonight, ladies.
It was. It
Yeah, it
really
was.
was. It was.
Very interesting.
I can't wait to hear what tomorrow brings,
I know, me
which will be
too.
over on Allie's channel. Alex Erickson is the channel name. Let me put that in the chats so y'all can set your reminders. Oh, wait, I have to put the exclamation point. My bad. So, yeah, that's pretty much all we got for tonight. I will have my videos out tomorrow. But I am watching the Adelson. I need to see Charlie Adelson. I need to hear what cockamamie story this fool's coming up with, because I can't imagine what he's going to say. And that's after listening to hours of calls of Letecia, listening to the testimony at her trial and her interrogation videos and all the things. I can't even imagine what Mr. Adelson's going to come out with. So I'm very excited for that, but I'm also excited for these next round of calls. All right. So thank you guys. You guys have anything you wanted to add, Allie, Jen, before we?
I do. I'd like to
Man.
make an announcement.
Yes, make your announcement.
I'd like to announce publicly that I have entered into a long-term, once-a-week relationship with our favorite attorney, Chris Welch. He's going to, he's going to come on my channel every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to have a true crime discussion and ask him all of the tough attorney questions.
Ooh, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I love working with him.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad.
Yeah, so I don't know how quickly it'll start. It definitely won't be this week. I'm going to shoot for next week, but you guys know how hard I'm going every day right now. So it might be a couple weeks, but
well, we'll be there whenever it is, because I'm excited for that. What about you, Allie? You got any final thoughts you wish to share with the class before we go?
No, not really. Nothing too much. Just always walk away mind blown from her, but that's pretty much it.
I mean, yeah, just when you think she can't say anything more ridiculous, she speaks. And boom.
I think that we should end each of these live streams where we're doing the jail calls. I think that we should end each live stream where we each say one thing that we got to do today that we're grateful for that you can't do when you're locked up in prison for murder.
I'll start. I'm grateful that the tortilla that I used to make my burrito was cooked.
Hey, there you go.
We had tacos here. And I don't know. Let me think.
We'll come back to you, Jen. What you got?
I was able to hug my dogs today.
Oh, that's a good one.
I hugged my dog.
See, I was gonna say I got to get Bentley snuggles at bedtime.
There you go.
But then
there you go.
Yeah, and then I was like, was that too mean? But
nah.
No, it's not. The choices that she made led her there. And the sad fact is Letecia can't hug Harley and Al cannot hug Gannon. Neither can Landon.
Kay Bray said, I just went and checked my mail without asking.
Nobody read through it first.
Right? Right. Cray
I'm allowed
said,
socks.
I have heat.
I'm thankful I can cuddle with my kitties, said Blue.
Yeah, and
Freebies
if
from
I'm
Costco today. Yes, that's another thing. We can
Okay.
all go to Costco. Saturday's the best day. And you can have a whole 4-course meal at Costco on Saturdays with all the samples they give out. You know, it's
and a
perfect.
and a kosher hot dog.
And a kosher hot dog and a cooked tortilla.
Uh, if I'm blowing smoke, it's because I'm smoking a cigarette or a joint, and not because I'm freezing my vampire ass off.
Innocent.
Blowing smoke.
At a broken down,
I
busted
know,
up
she's so full of it.
Volturi vampire camp.
Mhm.
That shit don't sound up to code from these calls. I'll tell you right now.
Well, I love you guys so much.
Love you so much.
I love you so much.
Love you
All
guys.
right, you
Bye.
guys.
Mm.
Bye. Thanks for being here. Good night.